You're listening to the Roma Miclat Show.
Something about this flower fills me with an emotion I don't really understand.
It's another Sunday, and welcome to the Empowered series brought to you by the Roma Miclat Show. This is Roma.
And Patricia.
And it's not just the two of us today. Pat, can you do the honor and introduce our first guest on Empowered?
Ooh, drum roll. Here we go. Guys, I am so excited to have my dearest friend and fellow pop instructor and pop sister, Danica, here with me.
Woohoo! What is up, guys? Hello. How are you guys doing? It's
Hi,
good to be here.
Danica. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Woo-hoo.
you.
This is surreal. I'm so excited to have you here.
Yes,
It's my
we're
first time being in a podcast.
I
Hashtag
hope you
Royal
have a lovely
Rumble.
experience. Ooh, Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Today's episode is entitled Comparison is the Thief of Joy, which, by the way, is a famous quote by President Theodore Roosevelt. So we want to discuss envy. I understand that sometimes people mistake jealousy with envy. So we want to make it clear that envy is defined to be the reaction to lacking something, but jealousy is what a person feels when threatened of losing something or usually someone. And when we compare ourselves with others, it's actually envy that we feel and not jealousy. So, let's make it clear, okay? So, ladies, have you compared yourself to others? Since we have our guest today, let's start with you, Danica.
Constantly. But I'm happy that during the past few years, I learned to compare myself to the past self, to myself. Years ago, before I even, left my home country, Malta, I was constantly comparing myself with others with regards looks. I mean, obviously we're girls and we definitely compare ourselves with the way we look, our hair, our makeup, and mind you, my makeup skills are still not great, but and also with regards to, our body shape. Like, for example, I used to notice, who is fitter than me. And back then they used to tell me that I don't need to go to the gym, because the mentality was, you're not fat, you don't need to go to the gym. And I just believed that. I didn't know that there's more than that in fitness. Fitness is not just looking good, but loving yourself and feeling confident, and the fact that you are not shy and you are not embarrassed looking in the mirror. I know that there are people out there who cannot do it. I had people telling me, like, I can't look at myself in the mirror, but then they would compliment me. It's like, oh my God, you're so great, blah, blah, blah. It's like, why don't you say that to yourself as well then? The way I used to compare has changed for sure. I am always aiming in, if I notice someone that I might feel envy, I would think, how can I apply this? How can I get there? How can I learn from this person? Because jealousy, I think my mom told me this, jealousy can also lead to hatred. And,
Yes.
and also it could lead to violence if you really take it more seriously, So if I feel like I am in envy, I turn that into admiration and I try to be in contact and closer to that person to learn from the person.
That is so good. And I agree with her. What about you, Patricia?
Wow, I agree with her big time. And listening to Danica share, actually, I'm just like here nodding my head, and I'm like, yes, that is why she is a coach. She has got it all. Those points were like so good and on point. I think it's so important to bring this topic up. And thank you, Roma, for introducing this topic into the series, because we get so tempted to compare ourselves. I do it almost every day. And I think maybe it's something that we grow up with. It's a personality that develops as we grow up. And we find ourselves comparing not just our bodies, but also our professions. If someone is doing something that we like, and we're like, okay, why do I not have that? Or oh, this is something that has been happening, I think, in the recent years, the Instagram life, the social media life, comparing my life to the highlights of everyone else's social media life. And automatically, I don't know what happens in my brain. I always know better, but automatically I'm like, they're so happy and I'm not happy. What's wrong? And immediately I identify that I'm not happy anymore. And that is why this topic is so good. Comparison truly is the thief of joy. And I'm so glad that you also clarified it, saying that it's a feeling of envy, because I'm envious of their smile. I'm envious of their happiness. I'm envious of what's going on in their life for that 15 seconds of the story, and comparing it with all the low points of my life. So it happens with everything. It happens with the food that I eat. It happens with my body. It happens with my hair and makeup, and it happens with my job. And when I see people having like online classes, I'm like, their online classes are going great, and mine are like, okay, only one person showed up today. So it gets so hard and challenging, and really need that constant reminder that I shouldn't be comparing myself. I should be grateful. And I think Danica spoke a little bit about comparing herself to her younger self, that you're just
Yeah.
going to become the best version of yourself every time. I really like that.
Yes, when I think about the way I used to think before, and I was full of expectations. So I used to expect to be like others, and people would give me the same attention. But that's actually quite a disappointment way, a pathway, It's important that we have to constantly remind ourselves that we have our own body, our own mind, and we are responsible for our happiness.
That is so true. But have you noticed that we usually compare ourselves with our friends or the people within our circle, and not, the celebrities? So it's like saying that envy is a personal thing, because it's like, okay, why will I even compare myself to Beyonce, because damn, that's Beyonce or that's Oprah, right? We don't compare. Girl, we don't dare to compare ourselves with Beyonce. It's more of a personal thing. It's within the circle of friends, may it be on online friends or real friends, and it would always be about materialistic things. For example, on social media, like you girls said, when we see people posting travel photos, or maybe a new gadget that they bought, or the branded stuff, or body, like what Danica pointed out, six pack abs, those
The
sexy
V.
arms. Yes. And most often we hear people say, oh my gosh, I wish I have her closet, I wish I have those abs, man, I'd be the happiest if I owned that car. Or, I want to travel in a business class. And at times, because we cannot have what they have, we start to feel envy that later on, again, like Danica said, we don't realize that we are somewhat reacting negatively to the post, or, it starts to disturb our inner peace, which is again a clear sign that it's getting worse, or envy is actually beginning to eat you, which is scary thing that's happening. And it's an inner thing. I mean, like, for example, my husband won't know I'm feeling envious to other people, because for me it's just in my mind. So I want to ask now, but I understand that Danica already answered this earlier. What do you do when you start feeling this emotion? Okay, let's start with Patricia.
All right. I think this takes me back to some of the episodes that we had earlier on the Empowered series, which talk about being aware of ourselves, being aware that this emotion that I'm having is envy. This emotion right here is me comparing my personal life to the highlights or to what someone else is having, and then working towards how to feel better, how to not compare myself, how to not feel envious, and then go back to what Danica was saying, that you're just working towards becoming the best version of yourself, comparing to the younger you. And, it's realigning. I think we even spoke about that last week. Realigning your mindset, realigning
Yes.
yourself to the situation. And that starts with awareness.
And what about you, Danica?
Okay, you might laugh at this. So it happens to me constantly. And the way I started to shift my mind and make me rethink what the hell am I thinking? And, when we used to watch cartoons like Tom and Jerry, for example, you'll have the devil and the angel on your shoulders and you have to think, So when I see a post, I don't know, of someone rich and, famous or whatever, so the first thing I would think is, okay, I don't have this. It's like, so much for doing this or this. It's like, well, here goes my success. So that would be like the devil kind of thing, the negativity. But then I have the angel who might tell me, but, and I will start thinking, what am I grateful for? And also, I'm a visual person. So what I do is I scroll in the comments. Yes, I do that. I scroll in the comments and I see what the people say. Because what the people say, it would be like, sometimes it's just bots or emojis or people trying to advertise their own business. It's like, hey, like my page, DM, blah, blah, blah. It's like, where is the engagement? Where is the connection with people? So sometimes when I post a picture and I get about 20 likes and I get 2 comments and I get messages in DM telling me, oh my God, I really love saying that. It's like, that's my win. So every time I see a picture with all the filters and fancy shit, then that's how I work everything out. It's like, I try and trick myself. It's like, don't get lost in this, bullshit here. There's stuff behind it, there are the reasons, and everything is connected to another. So you just have to be aware, as Patricia said, be aware and stay alert. It's like, what the hell are you thinking?
It's like she's validating. Is this for real? Is this a reposted photo? Is this even yours?
Exactly.
I really like what Danica said about really analyzing. And it is important to analyze your emotion. So important to analyze the post. What is the content there? What are they trying to show? That they just look super fancy, that they own these super fancy things, but what are they influencing? So if you're not giving a good influence, then how can you call yourself, speaking of influencers, of course, but whoever is listening in on this show, when you post something, what is your intention of that post? Do you just want to have a fancy filter, look bomb? Okay, no problem. Go ahead and do it. And let it be just that.
Yeah.
But don't go around analyzing your bomb photo with someone else's photo and be like, okay, mine does not look as good as theirs, or mine looks so good that theirs is so worthless. Like, what does that help in? So that whole analyzing thing is so important. Comparison truly is a thief of joy. It is a waste of time, honestly. I don't even want to spend one more second in this because life is so precious. We all have limited time in our life.
Yes.
I don't want to be wasting it on I'm not that pretty.
Exactly. And one thing I want to point out is that as much as me and Patricia, we are into fitness, we are not just advertising or trying to market like, hey, work out with me and you will become hot. Like, that's not the point. The point is, and I actually learned this a few years ago, and it's actually amazing. And I hope that one day I will manage to make people feel this way, that you will start not only falling in love with yourself, not with the looks, but with your soul and also with the people around you. So recently, since I have started, being engaged and connected with Instagram people, I feel like I'm being connected with souls, like being on the same level of mindset, understanding the person and having that empathy, that empathic feeling, That's the message I want to start giving to the people and teaching it, that looks are nothing. When you start talking to the people, just observe their gestures, their smile, the way they put the words. It will actually make you look at life in a different way.
It's like you want to connect with them more than, the physical activities. You want to connect
exactly
with them. Yeah. But that's really beautiful. I mean, not everyone can do that, I guess. That's somewhat, magic of, connection.
That
right?
is how I sometimes, I follow these inspirational motivator, business owners and everything. That's why, for example, recently I've been following business owners and everything. And you see these memes, and quotes and everything. I used to find it hard to understand. And when they used to tell you, like, know your circle and be careful who's in your circle as well. Because the people you surround yourself with is... you're actually that kind of person as well, if you are hanging around with those kind of persons. So make sure that this in your circle, there are those kind of people that inspire you, and that they will also always help you in remembering what are you grateful for. Because we are all in different levels of life. We're all in different cultures. We're in different countries. And that matters.
I really identify with what Danica said, because I also came across a business coach, who said that you are a summary of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And if you actually take the time to think about it, it is 100% true. Who are the people that you hang out with the most? Who are you talking to the most? Choose your top 5 people, make a summary of it, and that is literally who you are. So if you're surrounding yourself with people who are, materialistic, or people who care so much about looks, you're going to be conscious about those kind of things. But on the other hand, if you are surrounding yourself with people who practice affirmation and meditation, who are more about building the mindset over building the body, because the body always follows the mind anyway, so we shouldn't be worried about that so much, you will see that you yourself are becoming that kind of a person when you surround yourself with that person. Also, the content that you read or the content that you watch, you absorb those personalities into your life. So if I end up watching a lot of, like, let's say a serial, I don't know if that happens to you ladies and you listeners, I automatically become like that character for some reason. And it is ridiculous. And then if I watch another series, okay, I suddenly change characters again. So I'm just like, okay, this series thing is not working for me. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to not watch as many series as possible and focus, because I am investing in people. I am coaching people. I'm training people. And I don't want to train bullshit to people. I want to be as genuine and as authentic. And if I'm feeding myself with rubbish, I'm going to be feeding my clients with rubbish. And I don't want that, So if I'm going to be comparing myself to everyone else on my Instagram, what am I going to teach, or what am I going to show to my clients? I'm a fraud. That's what I'll be. And I don't want that. We don't want that. That's why we're having this podcast.
Yes. And you can just see how social media can really impact your life. We should always be on top of things. Like, we should always be aware. Like, again, like what Patricia said, you should be aware. You should be able to see that, okay, this I'm feeling this emotion because maybe something that I read, and I should stop this, those kinds of things.
One thing I wanted to point out was what Patricia said about we are a summary of the 5 persons that we hang out with. And can I just give a shout out to the internet itself, because most of the people that I surround myself with, they are actually online. Because for me, I really pick the people well who I hang out with, because for me, time is really precious. And I pick the people who I choose to surround myself with. And the ones who are online, they are the biggest ones that actually inspire me, and that can actually help me more than certain people that I meet face to face over here.
I am totally
if you can
agreeing
just
with
see,
Danica right
if you
now.
can just see Patricia doing the heart thing with
Heart
with her.
emoji everywhere.
Yes.
You know, it makes me so happy to hear Danica say that, because Danica and me, we send voice messages and videos to each other almost every day. We update each other about what's happening, our challenges. We are also planning to write a fitness program together. So you guys stay tuned for that. And we also have a group of popsters. We are hosting a challenge together on August 1st to the 7th. And this group is crazy awesome, because it's just an explosion of positive vibes there. We discuss really beautiful stuff that grows the mindset, stuff that makes us confident in who we are and value ourselves without demeaning anyone else. I mean, Danica just took the words of my mouth when she said that we choose them. And I love that she said that, because that shows that you are powerful to choose who you surround yourself with. So a huge shout out to the girl gang who are always listening to these podcasts.
Yes,
Giving me
yes.
girls,
Thank
are you
you.
excited for Danica being here? Oh my God.
Yeah, congratulations. And thank you to those girls. I would like to thank them also, because they've been showering us with affection since day one. And it really means a lot to us. So, well, at least that's a very important. You see how Patricia, Danica, and the rest of the girls are enjoying the vibes, and they appreciate each other. And, they try to improve individually, but at the same time they support each other. Because I want to share some personal story. Well, it's something different with what you guys are experiencing. A former colleague got promoted, so I went to congratulate the person, but I was surprised by the response. It wasn't, it's not thank you or oh my god, yeah, I'm so happy. No. So I said, hey, congratulations on the promotion. And the response was, yeah, but did you see this person got promoted, and she got promoted twice this year? Can you believe that? I wonder if she's that good though. You see that? And that was the cue that I need to stay away from that person. That very moment, I realized that, oh no, this person won't appreciate any good things that's gonna happen in that person's life, and I don't like that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is an example of an ungrateful and envious person. I need to use that situation, that experience with a person, because it's an example of, instead of celebrating the achievements, they look at their neighbor's lawn and they get disappointed with what they have. And whose fault is that? You have something in your lawn, but you keep on looking at the other neighbor's lawn. And then you said, oh, I'm not happy with what I have. Something like that. I mean, sorry, I'm so it's so
important
animated.
to enjoy the process, enjoying the process. And sometimes the process is much, much more fun than the result, because while you're doing the process, you actually know you're getting to the result. So seeing it evolving, seeing it being built, that's the fun part of it. But some people, they just don't want to do the work.
Yeah, and I just the saying that some people are actually praying for what you have, and in the past you were praying for these things, and then now that you have it, you're not even noticing it. I don't like those people. I don't like those types of people. And I believe that comparison is part of, being a human being. And it can be a useful tool, or it can ruin a person, which, again, it's a dangerous thing if it ruins you. But so we must understand how to handle envy. And if you listen to last week's episode, I mentioned that this is one of my favorite affirmations. Actually, we have things in common with these two girls. But this is my way of overcoming envy. I always say to count your blessings because there's always something to be thankful for. We should learn how to appreciate our blessings one by one, and most of the time, we have to admit that we forget this. Sometimes we work so much because we wanted a bigger house, more money. We want to be rich. We are sacrificing our health, our time with the family, and we tend to forget or we tend to miss out the simple joys of life. And it's like we're always running after money, more money, because we think that having riches in the world is equivalent to happiness. But no, I mean, having money will give you a comfortable life. I'm not denying that. It's a fact. But it does not exactly bring you happiness. For example, you want a huge house and a walk-in closet and a bag and shoe collection. Like, those, again, like what we were talking about earlier, the influencers and the celebrities who are sharing their stuff on YouTube. But you have to ask yourself, why do I want those things? Why do I want a walk-in closet when I'm already having a tough time organizing the stuff that I have now? If I will get that big house with more rooms than people living in it, will it make me happier? Will it make will it make my family happier? So all I'm saying is that it's good to have ambition and strive for better things, but just don't forget to also appreciate what's in front of you. And it actually reminded me of something that I've read, this Buddhist concept of mudita. And it said that it's the antidote to envy because the concept of mudita, when someone owns a huge property, or they are buying a new car, or they're successful in a business venture, you feel happy for that person because the concept of medita, happiness is limitless. That if someone is receiving a number of blessing, it doesn't mean that you will receive less. Yours might be in a different form, but still you have blessings in your life, or you will receive more in the future. But it doesn't mean that she got a new house, she got a new business. It doesn't mean that, oh my god, I might lose my chance to get new business and be rich in the future. That's another way to look at things and to counter attack envy if you ever feel that you are envious with.
I love it, Roma. I love what you just said. And circling back to that money doesn't buy you happiness, I think it's true. I see a lot of memes out there which says that, yeah, but it could buy you Louis Vuitton or it could buy you an Audi. I don't think so, because that is just possession. Does possession make you happy? Then you really need to check your definition of happiness. For me, I think happiness would be in my friendships. And I know that money cannot buy friendship. And if money could buy friendship, I don't think those friends are real friends.
Yes, they are fake friends.
They are. When your money is gone, they gone with the money.
Yeah, true.
That is so true. The way I counterattack envy is to use it as a motivation. I believe Danica already mentioned this earlier. Podcasting. I realized that no one was listening, and so I wondered why. I was like, okay, I know I'm producing something with value, but why don't I have listeners? And I checked other shows and I studied their approach and I got motivated because, again, my other mantra in life, which, by the way, I also mentioned this in the previous episode. If others can do it, I can do it too. Finally, after doing that, after reviewing and trying to understand other podcasters' approach, slowly the show evolved and now it's part of a community. And I've been meeting new people and I get motivated with every story. And I would say that yes, I compare myself with others, but I use it as a tool to improve, and I don't dwell on the negative thoughts that I'm not good with this, I should give up. I use comparison to be motivated and do better and
Yeah.
improve, which is important.
Yes, it's important that you use, yeah, I like that. So you use it as a tool, because sometimes people can get lost into feeling less. And some people, they attach their happiness or even sadness to someone else's actions. And if you're going to base your feelings on other people's, that's actually like one quick way to lose in life, basically. Because if you're just going to do that, then, you know, it's like, what's the point of living then? Like, these people, some of them, they just get lost into comparing themselves and saying they are not good enough. But it's important to check. I always like to tell my students and also my clients, you know, like, check yourself. It's like, what are you doing with yourself? Check your mind, you know.
It's we always go back to that thing that we said in the previous episodes. You will always go back to your why. Why are you doing this? Why am I doing this podcast episode? Why are you teaching Pop Pilates? Because that, it's like your core value. It's like you're realigning yourself that, okay, I think that's getting messy up here. So I should check my core values. Is this aligned with what I really wanted to begin with?
Yes, and what others do and what are like other people's achievements has absolutely nothing to do with you or with anyone else. You are responsible on taking care of yourself and creating your own happiness. So work on yourself, work on your project and whatever you want to achieve, and stop bragging and wasting time on other people's lives and checking what they're doing and not using it, as Roma said, as a tool.
You know, if you can just see us, you know, we've been doing this.
Yeah.
I wish it could be a video podcast, video
next
cast.
Next time we'll do it. Because I was like, we were like, yes.
So much energy going on here. Like,
yeah, that is so true. Oh my God, this episode. Awesome episode, because we've talked about a lot of things, and it's like they're somewhat connected. You know, it's not just comparison, it's not just envy, it's, you know, the people you're around with, knowing your why. So you see, the topics that we are actually discussing every episode, they are somewhat connected. I'm just happy that we get to do this, and yeah, that's it. It's short, simple, but sweet. I would like to say thank you for joining us today, Danica. And please follow her on social media. Can you please share your social media so that they can...
Thanks for having me, Roma. So you guys can follow me on Instagram, and also I have a Facebook page. It's Dandi Vation, so Dandi and Vation, because basically my nickname is Dandi and I'm always into motivation, always into inspiration. So yeah, and I always enjoy connecting with people.
Yes, and we're really happy to have you on the show. I hope this won't be the last.
I don't think it will be the last. I really enjoyed it. And it was actually like motivating, you know, to move forward for the rest of the day.
Yes, thank you so much. And of course, we have Patricia.
Hey, you guys. So you know the drill. You can find me at broken.barriers. I also have a fitness Instagram page. It's called broken.barriers.fitness. And the Facebook page, that's Broken Barriers Fitness Studio. And I also have something exciting coming up soon. I think Roma and I are working on something. So hopefully we will get to share that with you guys. And Danica, thank you so much, sweetheart, for saying yes and being on this show with us, because it was just magic and fire. Yay, Roma's doing the side-to-side clap right now.
That is so true. Thank you so much, girls, and the Roma Miclat show. As you all know, I know you might be tired of hearing this, but you don't have much choice because this is my show anyway. The Roma Miclat show is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So this is another episode of Empowered, brought to you by the Roma Miclat show. Happy Sunday, and until our next episode, let's say it together, girls. Bye.
Bye.